Tere päevast. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Estonian Cricket and Rugby National Ground at Tiskre for our Eesti Premium Liiga Division 1 match between the Tallinn Hippos and the Tallinn Strikers. So the match is just a little delayed. Seems to be some issues with the scorers, sorting a few things out. But what I can tell you is that the Hippos won the toss and they have elected to bat first. I can see Dave Robson is padded up and standing on the just outside of the rope with a bat and his gloves on. I think his partner also padded up is Owen. We've got one striker out on the field. Habib is very keen to get bowling. With lots of other strikers not looking ready at all. But the umpires and the batters are now making their way out onto the ground. And here come the fielders as well. Some of them are making late clothing changes. It is a glorious sunny day here in Tallinn. However, it's a bit chilly because there is a very strong wind here at Tiskre. It's blowing from left to right on your screen. So it could be playing havoc with some bowling, some shots. If you hit into the breeze, you're not going to get any value whatsoever. Whereas those batters who are able to utilise it might find the boundaries a little easier to come by. You will see, you might notice that the camera is wobbling around a bit. That's how strong the wind is. The camera is affixed to a pole above my commentator's hut. It's a good 2 meters up above the hut. And the hut itself is over 2 meters tall. As I said, Dave Robson, Owen Feely are the opening batters for the Hippos. Habib Khan, as usual, is going to open the bowling for the Strikers. Strikers currently sit top of the table in the Eesti Premium Liiga Division 1. They've got 3 wins from 4 matches, while the Hippos are currently in 4th due to United's win earlier today over the Riders. The Hippos have 2 wins and 2 losses so far this season. The Strikers will be looking to put a bit more distance between them and the rest of the pack, while the Hippos will be trying to get level on points. Habib with the first ball to Robson, and it is a wide. Well wide. Can't blame the wind for that one, though. It pitched well and truly wide of the stumps. So here comes Habib again from the Kiev end. This time on the pads, Robson just blocks it out. Strikers have 4 fielders on the onside. Man on the 45, a square leg, mid-wicket and a mid-on. On the offside, there is a mid-off, extra cover, deep cover, strays on the legs again. Robson's not able to get it away. and there is a player who's sort of a gully backward point position. He's sort of hovering between the two. Only the one man outside of the ring. The deep cover, I say deep, but he's halfway between the 30-yard circle and the boundary. Again on the legs. This time Robson's able to get it away, or is it going to be leg buys? It is actually leg buys. So Dave's struggling to get bat on ball for the ones that are on the body. That brings Owen on strike. The Strikers team is quite full of Estonian national team players. Habib the bowler, Arslan the captain. In total there's 6 strikers who are currently in the national team setup. Outside off from Habib. Owen just lets it go past. Hippos side today missing a few regulars. Here comes Habib once more. And this one strays down leg and will be called a wide. But the remainder of their side is Tim Heath, Richard Parkin, Kalavislapu, Remo Rod, Darwin S, Rudesh Sekaran, Max Sedgwick, Vikram Singh, and Paavo Peter Enla. Straight one from Habib. Owen's not able to get it away. Habib has been in fantastic form so far this season with both bat and ball. Wraps Owen on the pads again. I think it's going to be another leg by. And it is called by the umpire. So it's 4 runs from the over, all of them extras. Neither of the opening batters for Hippos able to get off the mark. Strikers will be very happy with that start, but they will want to put a cap on those extras, not let them get out of hand. They gave away quite a few extras last week against the Rising Stars. It didn't cost them the victory in the end, but they could have won that match far more comfortably, if not for about 38 extras, if my memory serves me correctly. If they give away 38 extras to this Hippos side, and if either of these two batters and the likes of Tim Heath put on scores, they will be needing to chase down a big total. So Bilal Masood is going to bowl from the Stockholm end, another national team player. I think he's hit him on the back foot. Owens assumed that was going to be a wide down leg side, and it's hit his back foot. Bilal's gone up for an appeal. Nobody else joined him. The impact was definitely outside the line of leg stump. Owen's going to have to be a bit careful. Here comes Bilal again. Straight inside edge. It's gone to the fielder on the 45. And they get through for a run. So the first run off the bat for the Hippos. Not in the most convincing of styles, but they'll take every run they can get no matter how it is achieved. A few adjustments to the field now that the left-hander is on strike. Swing and a miss outside of off stump. Comes Bilal again to Dave. Outside off stump. He's left it and it has been called wide. Bilal bowling into the body of Dave, and he's just fended it away. Outside off, cut away by Dave. He's pierced the gap. It's racing away to the boundary, and it gets there 4 runs. The first boundary for the Hippos. First boundary of this match. On the body again. Again, not very convincing from Dave with these balls on the body. So none for 10 after 2 overs. Slightly better second over for the Hippos thanks to that boundary. But they are not taking advantage of the power play as yet. It does look to be like a bit of a game plan from the strikers bowlers, as both Habib and Bilal have been bowling into the body of both batters. And with the exception of a couple of leg byes, it's doing the job for the strikers in restricting the run scoring. So Habib will continue again from the Kiev end, just making some final adjustments, bringing a fielder from the offside to the onside. So he'll now have a mid-wicket, mid-on. But he bowls to the offside. There is a deep mid-wicket who is, again, he's halfway between the 30-yard circle and the boundary, the square leg. Player on the 45. A deep gully, a point, cover, mid-off. Habib into Owen. Swing and a miss. It was there for the drive, but he hasn't quite stepped to the ball. Owen connects this time, but he can't get it beyond the inner ring. It will be a dot ball. The fielders on the offside are quite back. They're all basically on the circle. Cover is about 1.5 meters inside. The mid-off and the point are right on the circle, while the deep gully is the man back. As here comes Habib. Straight to ball is an appeal. Umpire seems to be suggesting it's going down leg. From my little hut, well beyond the boundary, I'd actually thought there was bat, but it appears not. Either way, it's a dot ball. Another straight one. There's definitely bat involved that time, and yet Habib is appealing. Looks like the umpire is explaining to Habib that you can't be out LBW if you hit the ball with the bat before it hits the pad. But again, another dot ball. This peppering the body from Habib is working very, very well for him. He may not be dismissing even for LBW, but he's getting lots of dot balls through his side, putting lots of pressure on these opening batters for the Hippos. And I would say, as long as he's producing that, keep him there. Don't worry about dismissing them. Short, wide. That also, I mean, it was incredibly wide, but it also looked like it bounced over the batter's head. Could have been called a wide for two reasons. Here comes Habib again. Fuller this time. Oh, and just gets an edge on it. Goes back to that deep gully. I don't really understand why the gully fielder is basically back on the boundary. If he had been in up on the circle, that would be a catching opportunity. And with the Hippos none for 13 after 3 overs, there's no reason why strikers can't be a bit more attacking with their field. So below to continue. That is wide. Extras easily top scoring for the Hippos at this point in time. 8 extras. Bilal bowls to Owen. Straighter at this time, but Owen can't get it past the mid-wicket fielder. Get the sense that the ball seems to be coming on a little bit quicker to the Hippos opening batters than what they expect. He's bowled him. Owen trying to send the ball back over the bowler's head, but again, it was far too quick for him. And his off stump is sent cartwheeling, and Owen departs for 2 from 13 deliveries. A T20 strike rate of 15.38. Jeffrey Boycott might love that type of return, but it's not really going to do your side any good in a T20 match. And it's not even the way that test match cricket's played these days, especially not baseball. So the new batter for the Hippos is the wicketkeeper, Rudesh. So Bilal into the new batter, Rudesh. It's a good ball. Pushed away. They're coming through for one. The throw hit the turf just in front of the pitch and then just rolled along the ground. Rudesh off the mark with his first delivery. That type of strike rate is exactly what the Hippos require. So as they make a few field adjustments for the left-hander. In actual fact, they didn't really move anybody. It's just the wicket-keeper has decided to actually put some inners in. Here comes Bilal. He's getting it to come back into the batter. It's pitching just outside of off and then coming back in, but Dave is able to keep it out, but keeping it out is not really the name of the game in limited overs cricket. And he doesn't find the middle of that one either. Goes aerial, and he has got hold of that one. I think it may have just landed inside the boundary. Yep, the umpire signaled 4. So Dave moves along to 8, and he's only scored with 2 shots, 2 fours. If he can increase the number of those he does, he'll be doing very, very well. 4 overs done. The Hippos are 19 for 1. And it's a power play that is very much the strikers who are dominating. Both strikers, opening bowlers, doing a very good job. Bilal picking up the wicket, while Habib has been extremely economical, keeping it very, very tight. None for 5 off his 2 overs. He has bowled 11 dot balls, and only 1 run against him has come from the bat. If he can cut out those wides, it would be phenomenal. Scorers just seem to be double checking something. Keeping the players waiting. It's not the way it should be. And finally, Habib will get to commence his third over. A leave from Rudesh. So Habib into Rudesh again. Again into the body. Rudesh flicks it away. He wanted to run, but Dave sent him back. Rudesh again looking to just prod one outside of off stump. Can't get bat onto ball. Habib again from the Kiev end. He just strays down leg side this time. It did look as though Rudesh had changed his guard slightly, come a little bit further in front of the stumps. As Habib has been targeting the body of all the batters so far, it's a pretty good idea. And that's a wide. Habib into Rudesh. That's also going down leg side for another wide. Hippos will be gratefully receiving these extras. Extras continues to be the top scorer, 11 of them. Rudesh gets bound onto ball this time, just works it to the square leg fielder, and they scamper through for one. Just the second run scored off the bat against Habib. Been making a few adjustments. Arslan just crumbing across your screen there to mid-on with the left-hander on strike. He just blocks that one out. Habib Dave outside off stump. And he's been caught behind. It looks like the keeper's given Dave a send-off, which is not allowed. So Habib finally picks up a wicket. He's been extremely economical for the strikers, apart from the wides. he would have absolutely phenomenal figures. But now he had a wicket as well. So he is 1 for 8 after 3 overs, as that was the final ball of the 5th over. The new batter is Tim Heath, who racked up his 2000th T20 run in Estonian domestic cricket last weekend. The Hippos, 2 for 23 after 5 overs. They are not looking good at this juncture of the match. The strikers are in total control, restricting the run scoring. They've removed both of the openers very cheaply. And if not for the extras, the score would be half of what it is. So Radesh on strike. Bilal comes in. Radesh fends it away. They're not able to take a quick single there. Striker's fielders pouncing on the ball, preventing any thought of trying to take a quick run. This time they do go for the single. Get through. And that shall bring Tim Heath on strike. Now, you would say that if the Hippos are going to have be able to post any sort of defendable total, a lot is going to rest on the shoulders of these two. In particular, if Tim Heath can be in his boundary bashing form. He cuts this one away, beats the fielder, and that will be a 4 to start off his innings. So it looks like he is in boundary bashing mood. The Hippos will hope that he can continue to do that for many an over in this innings. And if Radesh can stay with him and support him, they might just be able to post a defendable total. Because they're up against a very good strikers side who are clear favourites for this game. Even though they don't even have all of their national team players here today. Oh, and he's bowled him. So it turns into a cameo performance from Tim of 4 runs from 2 balls. Clean bowled by Bilal after dispatching him to the boundary of the previous delivery. So the Hippos' woes worsen. It's not looking good for them at all. New batter coming to the crease is Richard Parkin, who is a member of the Estonian men's national team, but he's much more in that side for his bowling rather than his batting. He has been putting on some good innings so far this season, particularly last week. Good little knock, but it was the type of knock that is you want from a batter coming in for the last 5 overs, not during the 6th over. So the strikers have brought more fielders into the ring. On the offside, there's a plethora of fielders, and this has been hit straight to one of those. Bit of a mix-up. There was a fumble in the field, so they are able to get through for one. So Richard gets off the mark. There's a fly slip. When Richard was on strike as left-hander, and as Rudesh is as well, he just guides this one to square leg. They're coming through, a better throw, and Parko might have been in danger. That's the power play completed. The Tallinn Hippos have only scored 30 runs and lost 3 wickets. Dave Robson said in this morning's match, if you lose 3 wickets in the power play, you lose the game. So I'm guessing he's not feeling very confident about the result of this one. We're going to have a change of bowling from the Kiev end. Habib has been given a rest. Probably worthwhile just bowling him out, to be honest. You kind of think that if they can get one more, the wickets would just tumble. But is going to be Elias coming on from the Kiev end. He did not have a good day with the ball last weekend, despite the Strikers' victory. And that is not a good ball at all. That is incredibly wide. We get 2 wides. And that's exactly what Elias was doing last week. He bowled a lot of wides. And yeah, he bowled just the 1 over, and he bowled 9 wides in that over. This one is going to be a wide or a no ball. It's a wide. He just landed on the pitch. Of course, if it lands off the pitch or if it lands on the edge of the pitch, it's actually a no ball. So it looks like Elias is continuing his poor form from last week with the ball, where he had 1 over, none for 15. As I said, there was 9 wides and 1 4 hit from it. This is a better ball. It's driven through the vacant point region. They get him back for 2. Could even consider a third. The throw is semi-decent. So Richard finds a gap. They have a deep fine leg. They have a gully. They have a point, but he's a little bit too straight. Full toss. Comes on to Parko. He just blocks it. They do get 1. There's a short cover. Then there's a wideish mid-off and a straight mid-off. Outside off, this has gone straight. Arslan's coming round as that straighter fielder. They do get back for 2. It's good running from Rudesh and Richard. There's a mid-on, but he's fairly regulation. This one's into the body and Rudesh just blocks it away. And then there's the fly slip in actual fact, it's that's just the fine leg who for Rudesh is up on the circle. Outside off is an edge. It was too wide for the keeper to have any chance of getting at. The deep third man does the fielding. So for some reason, the strikers think that these left-handers are going to be able to score down in Siberia in front of the nets. They're now bringing the man into slips, pushing the third man wider. Just push to the point fielder. So one edge and they bring in a slip. Seven overs gone, 3 for 39. Nine runs coming from that over of Elias's. So an improvement on last week. But that is the most fruitful over for the Hippos so far this match. They're going to need a lot more overs of 9 if they're going to be able to post any type of defendable total. Anything under 150, you would say that the strikers would be able to chase down with absolute ease. They chased down 138 last week in 11 overs, 11.1 I think it was. Just to give you an idea. So, in actual fact, you would expect to need to be over 160 to really have a chance. So, Shuvo has come on from the Stockholm end. He bowled 2 overs last week, 1 for 10. Good contribution for his side. Rudesh with a big swing, can't get bat onto ball. The fielder can't get the hand to the ball. So they'll scamper through for one leg by. Shuva goes down the leg side. His reaction suggests that there was an edge from Richard and the keeper unable to get to it, and the keeper's just apologised. And no signal from the umpire, so everything clearly indicates that there was an edge there, and that's a chance gone begging. He's down the leg side again. This time it's a wide. Rudesh went chasing it again. It's almost as if Shuvo was trying to get these batters caught, chasing them, the wide ones down leg side. Fielder's chasing after this. He's used his feet to stop it. Rudesh looking for a third. Restricted to just the 2. Works this one round to the man on the 45. It's Habib there, and he's fumbled it, so they got through for the single without any difficulties. Turned round to square leg. The square leg fielder is deep, so an easy one. But ones aren't going to give them any type of score to defend. 46 for 3 after 8. See that projected score of 115. That would be a walk in the park for, you pretty much say, whichever batters strikers decided to send out. Habib is pretty much always the opener. There's been a bit of rotation as to who his partner has been this season. Ali Masood was with him last week. Arslan has opened with him earlier in the season. And you could say that if particularly if the Hippos don't put on any type of score, you might see something slightly different from the strikers. Say, well, Habib, there's no point in you opening. We know you're going to score it. Swing and a miss outside off stump by Richard. They might give someone else a chance to get some time batting, as last weekend Habib and Ali chased down the runs without losing a wicket. But that's a scenario for much later in the match. This time he finds the ball. The point fielder doing a good job to stop it and save the boundary. Restrict them just to the one run. Looks as though the wind may have died down a little bit. Maybe fractionally. Yes, and again, Rudesh pushes that for a single. Not really sure where the Hippos are going to get their runs. A slow ball there from Ilias, and Richard was unable to pick it. So another dot ball to add to the strikers' collection. Ilias straighter this time, but it's the same result. Hippos unable to score any runs. Comes Ilias again from the Kiev end, outside off. Half-hearted attempt to play the ball from Richard, and that will be another dot ball to win the over. Just the 2 runs coming from it. 48 for 3 after 9. So we've not seen a good power play session from any of the teams so far today. Just drives this one to mid-on just for the 1 run. Shuvo continuing from the Stockholm end. Yeah, the Riders only got 27 runs in their power play. That will be a wide. And comparing it, the turnover mark, it looks like the Hippos are slightly ahead of where the Riders were, but they're behind of where United were, who eventually went on to win that match. That'll be another wide. the Riders were 3 for 51, which is what the score is now. I would expect the Hippos to find at least one run somewhere. Whereas after 10 overs this morning, United was 61 for 3. This is so far all three teams that have batted today losing 3 wickets in the first 10 overs. Richard trying to work that one around the corner. Not getting hold of it at all. And we've had a 51, a 61, and so far the Hippos are also 51. He does get hold of this one a little better, but it is straight to the square leg fielder, who is outside the ring, so the single is easily acquired. It's the extras that are doing all the scoring for the Hippos. Rudish looks to dance down, then he goes sideways. He wants 2. The keeper's had to chase after it. The throw comes in. Sorry, not the keeper. I saw the helmet and thought the keeper had thrown his gloves on. It was the fielder from the 45 had to come over and tidy up the ball. Well run by Rudish and Richard to get through for 2. Shuva comes in again, gets this one past the mid-wicket, straight to mid-on for 1 run. So there should be one more delivery of the 10th over. Richard just pushes this one. He was ball watching a bit. Rudy wanted to run. The throw was quite good, and he's been given run out. The umpire had a long think about it. He did look like he was a little short. He wanted the run. He was the one who called. He probably assumed that the throw would not go to his end, but in the end, it did. And Rudesh has to depart. For 13. Yeah, just watching the replay. Rudesh was ball watching the whole time he was running, so he's looking over his shoulder. And I'd also say that he had the bat in the air. In actual fact, it was Richard who actually called for it. Rudesh stopped and started. It's definitely out. But if he hadn't been ball watching, and if he had slid the bat better, he would have made it. So fourth wicket falls for the Hippos. Score. Doing the digital app, hurries up and puts Rudesh's wicket in. The fielders are just having a drinks break. The umpires have gone off the field. Not sure why. I suppose they didn't have anyone to bring him a drink out. So we've got 2 batters standing out in the middle, waiting for the game to resume. Umpires are having a little bit of a chat to the scorers. Perhaps there's some confusion about something that they're just trying to sort out. That was at the end of the 10th. And it is 4 for 55, despite what it says on your screen. Whatever the umpires are trying to sort out with the scorers. I have no idea. I'm going to take a drinks break as well. So we finally look like we're actually going to get underway for the back half of the Hippos innings. Remo is the new batter. Just prods this one away. It's Richard who was actually on strike for one to bring Remo on strike. And it's Ali Massoud, the new bowler from the Kiev end. Making a couple of adjustments to the field. Remo hits that straight to the point fielder. There's a mid-off, short cover, a point, a gully, slip. Man on the 45. This one is pushed to the straightish square leg. It's virtually two mid-wickets. Quite close to each other. And a mid-on. This one's driven past the straighter mid-wicket to the mid-on. There was not a single fielder outside the circle for Remo. And it's going to be likewise for Richard. Just changed. Oh, and that's just beaten the grasping hand of the slip fielder. As they change back for the right-hander. Just have a little look at the replay in the corner of my eye. Drags this one across the batter for a dot ball. Yeah, the fielder did very well, but it was just a bit too far. 58 for 4 after 11. Another tight over from the strikers. In fact, in that previous over, that chance off Ali Masood to the slips fielder, he did get a fingertip to it. So a chance that goes begging for the strikers to remove another Hippo batter. But Richard Parkin stays. And he's only the second Hippo batter to get to double figures. Rudesh was run out for 13 from 19 deliveries. Extras is still going on lovely at 20. Pulled only a top edge. The fielder is not able to get back to it. Habib, I think, also slightly misjudged it. But even if he had have realised where it was going straight away, I don't think he would have been able to get to it. And the near bowler from the Stockholm end is Sultan. And Richard was picked up 2 off the first ball. Short again, trying to tempt him into the pull shot. He misses it this time. Big appeal, but once more, Richard has not got bat on ball, so it's just a dot. This one straighter, the mid-off fielder is able to cut it off. So Sultan into Remo. Plays this one off the pads. May have, yeah. It'll be given it as a leg by, so he didn't actually get any bat onto it. So 12 overs gone, 62 for 4. Another economical over from the Strikers. They're in complete control of this match. And at best at this stage, you would say that the Hippos might be on for a score of 120, but I can't see that troubling the Strikers at all. Not unless a couple of Hippos bowlers come up with some magic and slice through the Strikers' top order quickly. The middle and lower order for the Strikers hasn't really had to do any batting so far this season. The top order has been doing the job for them week in, week out. Cheyenne coming on to bowl from the Kiev end. Remo just pushes it back. He is one of those lower middle order batters who has come out to bat and done a very good job. Shows Cheyenne's been showing how much batting depth the Strikers do have. Cuts this one away, gets it over the infield. They'll get back for 2. A well-placed shot from Remo. Hello to Ben Jones in the chat, saying Parker relishing the responsibility of carrying the innings here. He's been preparing for this all season, apparently. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Remo gets this one away to the mid-off fielder. It's a good throw. Richie gets back in time. It's quite close in the end. I don't think he was expecting that. There's some chat going on here. The umpire was speaking to the Strikers captain Arslan about something. Now Arslan and Cheyenne and Habib come together. I've got no idea what they've been discussing. So, Cheyenne around the wicket to Parker. He's not able to get bat on ball. This time he does, works it through square leg, and they'll get back for 2. Two more to end the over. 8 runs coming from it. One of the better overs for the Hippos. But they'll need a lot more like that if they're going to be able to post any type of score here. Struggling for runs with no matter which bowler it is that they're coming up against. Only the 3 boundaries being hit in the innings, 2 from Dave Robson, 1 from Tim Heath, and all 3 of them came from the bowling of Bilal Masood, who for his 3 overs has figures of 2 for 19. Which, of all of the bowlers who have bowled multiple overs, he's the most expensive, and he's taken 2 wickets. That's how economical the strikers' bowlers have been. They've put the batters under a lot of pressure, and none of them have been able to respond to it. Sultan starting off with a wide here, and another one to follow it up. His previous over just went for 3. Sorry, for 5. Remo cuts this one away, but he just finds the fielder at fly slip straight down his throat. He hangs on to it, and Remo departs for 4. So Sultan bags himself a wicket. It's now 5. Gone for the Hippos. The strikers are all looking very relaxed and casual out there. They certainly don't look like a side who feel under any pressure whatsoever. The new batter trying to put some pressure on them is Mac Sedgwick. Sultan coming in from the Stockholm end. Full outside off. Mac just slashes at it, cuts it away, and it's going to race away for 4. Not the most convincing of shots, but he's not going to care. The Hippos aren't going to care because it's a much needed boundary. It's also been given as a no ball for the height. So 4 becomes 5, and we have a free hit. Let's see what Mac can do with the free hit. He drives it straight. There's a fielder there. They're going for the run, but the fielder fumbles it. If he had got that cleanly, and that was Arslan Amjad, I think Mac would have been in a world of hurt. But instead he scampers through for 1. And Richard Parkin is bowled. This over has got everything in it. He was looking to smash it to cow corner, but all he has done is got himself out. Aditya Savio is saying we need stump mics for all the on-field chat. Could be a good thing, could be a very bad thing, depending on how colourful that chat is. So Darwin's the new batter for the Hippos. Yeah, I think when Richard Parkin sees the footage of his wicket, he's going to be wondering what the hell he was doing, stepping away from the ball, trying to take a ball on off stump and smash it to cow. But that's something he can reminisce about this evening. So Sultan, 2 wickets in the over, coming into Darwin. It's full outside off. He pushes it away through point. The point fielder is deep, so single is easily obtained. Darwin gets off the mark. Quite a few Hippos have gotten off the mark by pushing it into that point region so far this innings. Seems to be a popular choice. Ways to begin your innings. This is full. Mac again chips it over the infield. It's racing away to the boundary, and he's got another 4 in the same area where he hit the previous full toss, 2 for 4. He's asking the umpire if that was called no ball for height. It was not. Not according to the scorers. I didn't see any signal for no ball. I've also not seen any signal for free hit, so I can only presume it was not called a no ball. And that is that should be called a no ball. It is. That's hit the edge of the pitch. So he might not have got a no ball for the previous one. He's gotten this one. This over just continues to deliver drama. Couple of wides, couple of no balls, couple of wickets, couple of singles, and a couple of 4s. And another wide. So the over that just keeps delivering. Sultan to Mac. He's gone to the same area for the 4. Habib, though, has moved back. So he's able to cut it off this time. And they'll only get the 1. So Mac has certainly got a favourite spot of the field, which is basically just an uppercut and letting the wind take it. But it looks like finally the strikers have cottoned on to his game and put a stop to it. But a phenomenal over. Really did have everything. Score now 88 for 6 after 14. So Cheyenne is going to continue from the Kiev end. He was not the most economical of the bowlers last time. He did give up 8 runs. Projected score has gone up to 126. That will not be of any real problem for the strikers. There's some type of conversation going on. We've one umpire. No, we've got both umpires in the field. I've got no idea what the hell the hold-up is. Straight one for Cheyenne. Prodded out by Mac. Misfield. gone through for one. Good throw. But Darwin is safe. 1 run added to the score. Cheyenne continues, wraps Darwin on the pads. This one's outside off, big swing and a miss from Darwin. Slotted back to the bowler. Another dot ball. Pulls this one straight to a fielder, but he's not able to stop it. That will let them get back for 2. Darwin's basically run 2.5. He ended up going so wide because he's running on the same side as Mac and on striker, doing his utmost to bring about a collision. Wraps him on the pads. It was definitely going down at leg, not even bothering with an appeal. That concludes the 15th over, 92 for 6. It's a bit of a sorry looking scorecard for the Hippos. Etchiparkin with the top score of 17 from 25 deliveries. We're just talking about the batters, as there have been 30 extras, 21 wides. But Max Cedric is back on strike at the Kiev end. The end where he's hit a couple of 4s, just with uppercuts off the bowling of Sultan. Habib has gone back into that area where he might be able to get a catch there, but the delivery is low outside of off, so no opportunity for the uppercut from Mac. It's the full tosses that he's been jumping on. Bowler comes in again. This is full, driven straight for 1 run. Arslan having another chat with Sultan. I think he's probably telling his bowler, and don't try to bowl too full, because if you do, it might end up being a full toss, and that's what he's been able to score off. This time he strays down leg side. And that will be a wide. And Darwin just picks up the 1 run. So the Sultan Mac battle is back. This one is wide down the leg side, just wide. There's a fairly good gap through the covers. The point is very deep. Then there's a short cover. If you get it between the two of those, it should be 4. But he strays well wide down the leg side this time. And there's even less fielders on the onside. There's a man on the 45, there's a square leg, and there's a mid-wicket, and that is it. So why Sultan is bowling leg side, I do not know. Full outside off. Mac pulls it to cow corner in a very vacant outfield, but I think it's pulling up just inside the rope. Yeah. But they do run 3. So Mac saw the gap. Tried to dispatch it there, just not quite middling it. Otherwise, it would have been an easy boundary. But 3 added to the total, and the 100 up for the Hippos. This one's outside off. Darwin drives it past the short cover. The straightish cover, who's fielding on the ring, is able to stop it. So Sultan to Mac. Outside off. Hits it straight back over the bowler. The mid off, fumbles it. That's Arslan. It goes through his legs. I think that's 4. It is. The umpire signals 4. That's a 4 down in Siberia, as Stu Hook refers to it, where he reckons no one gets boundaries. Well, Max Sedgwick does. Hello to Simoon in the chat. 105 for 6 after 16 is the score. Simoon hoping that his side, the Hippos, can get around 135. Although he admits it's not enough, it would be a decent score to try and defend with the strong bowling lineup that the Hippos have. That strong bowling lineup he's referring to would be Colour and Richard and Dave, Owen. Could see some bowling from Mac as well. We'll see. The projected score has broken past the 130 mark for the first time. And Elias is going to come on to bowl from the Kiev end. And if the Hippos could have a few more overs like the last one, then they might be able to get even higher than 135. I think Darwin's managed to turn what could have been pretty much anything into a dot ball. Last over quite expensive from Sultan. Lots of wides. A 4, a 3. Elias in. It's edged through. Slips. Fielder's taking chase. It looks as though it's 4. It is. So in this back end of the Hippos innings, it's behind square where they're scoring their boundaries. That's a thick edge that's gone for 4. Max Sedgwick earlier with the 2 uppercuts. over gully. Straighter one, not really gotten hold of there by Darwin. They do pick up one. It's important to score off every ball in these final few overs. Ben Jones says, Mac attack. Indeed. Mac is now the highest run scorer for the Hippos. I think that has hit him, and I don't think the umpire signal like buys. I'm not convinced that he played a shot, nor am I convinced that he tried to evade the ball, which you have to do to be able to take a leg by. I'll see if I can pick it up on the replay. He definitely did not play a shot, as Darwin picks up another single. And he didn't evade because it hit him. Yeah, he shouldn't have actually been allowed to get that leg by. But in the end, I don't think that one extra run is going to make much difference. Mac tries to pull this one away, just finds the straightish mid-wicket fielder. 8 from the over, 113 for 6. So 3 overs remaining. I really do feel that if they can't get it above 140, then it's just going to be an absolute cakewalk for the strikers. Even 140 should be pretty easy for the strikers. The batting depth of this team is quite phenomenal. Habib, Arslan, Ali and Bilal Masood. As I mentioned earlier, Cheyenne's been putting in some fantastic knocks for them at this season. So Shuvo is coming on from the Stockholm end. Bowling figures of none for 12 from his 2 overs. He's bowling to Mac. Mac edges this one. The fielder's coming in and he takes it. So Mac again trying to score over the gully region, but the gully and the point the point is quite backward of point. They're a little outside of the ring in that perfect position for the chip over the infield. And Shuvo picks up the wicket of Mac. So the Mac attack comes to a screeching halt. But a good knock from him, 20 runs. Off just 13 deliveries, 3 fours. It's the type of innings that if a few more of his teammates had have been able to put in, the Hippos could have had a very competitive total. Your batter is Pavo Pata. Shuvo outside off stump. A little prod from Pavo. A type of prod that's likely to get you caught behind rather than anything else. And Pavo's innings is very short. He's been bowled by Shuvo. Shuvo picking up another wicket. about it is colour. And Darwin picks up a 4. Slapping that one through the covers. And that shot was testimony to what Romeo was saying in the chat, that if Darwin connects the ball with the middle of the bat, it will go very long and runs will come quickly. He's just got to do that a few more times if he can give his team any type of total to defend. Shuvo in again. Darwin tries to cross bat that. That was a terrible shot to choice. If he'd tried to play a similar shot to what he did off the previous ball, he might have gotten another 4. So 18 overs done, 118 for 8 is the score. So Ilias is going to bowl the last over from the Kiev end. Colour pulls this and he's beaten the fielder and he gets a 4. Just rolled his wrists across it, didn't try to overhit it, picked out the gap, and he gets the 4 runs. His team need a few more of those. Strikers do not have 4 fielders inside the circle. That should have been a no ball. And it is called a no ball. The umpires have seen it correctly. Yep. It was the mid-off who was straight out. He's now come in. Darwin dances, chips over the infield. It's not got the legs. It's going to pull up a few metres inside the rope. They're running well, though. They're going to get 3. It was exactly the type of shot he should have played off a free hit. Trying to get it over the infield. So 8 from the over so far and only 2 deliveries. Pushes this one back past the bowler. It should just be 1. Arslan picks it up cleanly, so it is. Darwin dances down, drives this straight. It's beaten the fielder on the boundary, and it will be another 4. Darwin is showing what Romeo was talking about, his ability to score these boundaries at a much needed time for his side. So Ilias in again. Darwin gives himself some room. Hits it to the mid-off, so just the 1 run. Ilias, with what should be his last ball, wraps him on the pads. But I think he's going to be out hit wicket. Certainly, that's really the only possibility, that in trying to play the pull shot, Culler has absolutely demolished the stumps. And yet he is out hit wicket. So Ilias picks up a wicket. Not completely convinced he deserved it, but he's got it. Hit this straight to the square leg fielder, and he's just in front of the umpire. That's how. So he's quite close, but the throw was dreadful, and they're able to get through for a single, which was never there, never on. But good running from Vikram and Darwin, and they got through for it. Shuvo outside off stump, little pitching wedge towards point, and it's another single. In the air, the fielder has misjudged it completely. Coming back for the second. Came forward when he should have gone back, and then once it was over his shoulder, he had no chance. Should just be one. Oh, there is a misfield, but not enough to justify considering going for a second. Swing and a miss outside off by Vikram. So one ball. Can the Hippos just get over 140? No, they cannot. Innings ends with a dot ball, which was a very common feature of the innings. 138 for 9. So the strikers will only need to score 139 for victory. Really good knock from Darwin at the end, 27 not out from 20. Also, towards the end of the innings there, Mack with 20 from 13. And a good contribution from Richard with 17. But it's at least the majority of the strikers bowlers who really had the standout figures. Ali Masud only bowled 1 over and it was none for 3. But Cheyenne 2 overs, none for 12. Ilias had 1 for 33, ended up expensive thanks to his last over. Habib, though, 1 for 8 from 3 overs. And then 2 for 22 from Shuvo and 2 for 19 from Bilal. So we should be back in approximately 15 minutes for the strikers' run chase to see if they're able to chase this down and how quickly they're able to do it. And we'll find out if Carla, David, Richard and co can do some damage with the ball and make this as difficult for the strikers as possible. So I predicted that there might be a bit of a change at the top order for the strikers, and it is what we are seeing. No Habib opening the batting for the strikers today. It's Arslan and Bilal, but with the ball is Owen. Outside off, it's beaten the keeper, it's beaten the slip. Should be called a wide. Ooh, should end up being 3 wides. It is. No, it's 4 and a wide. I was too busy concentrating on the umpire to notice that the ball had actually managed to get all the way to the boundary. So, pretty much the worst possible start for the defence for the Hippos. And the strikers will be on cloud 9, getting 5 runs. No legal deliveries yet. Here comes Owen in again. Similar area, also called wide. Much straighter ball. Some good shape there from Owen. Hit straight to Dave at mid-wicket. There's also a square leg. Man at backward square leg. Cow corner. This one's just outside off stump. And a mid-off, short cover, a point, and a gully. The umpire is standing at point so as to be able to actually see anything, otherwise the sun would be blinding him. Owen beats the bat this time. He's bowled him. Owen with a big breakthrough for the Hippos in the first over, dismissing Arslan Amjad, the strikers captain, for a duck. So while the first delivery of the second innings was not what the Hippos would want, the fourth legal ball was exactly what they want, removing a dangerous batter like Arslan. But as one national team player departs, another arrives. Ali Masood is now out in the middle to join his brother Bilal, both of whom who play for the national team. The Estonian men's national team will be in action in just a few weeks' time, and the ECI T10 Stockholm over in Sweden, and all of those matches will be shown live on ECN's YouTube channel, European Cricket Network. And a dot ball. Simon saying we'll take those 5 wides to trade for the big wicket of Arslan. Great delivery from Owen. Indeed it was. Owen to Ali. It's another good ball, but he finds gap, and it was fielded by Remo, coming in off the boundary, and he's unnecessarily thrown the stumps down. The zings light up. 7 for 1 from the first over. And That over shows that the Hippos have got some bite. So taking up the attack from the Stockholm end shall be Culler, another national team player. Culler will be bowling to Ali. Full outside off, driven straight. It's racing away. There's a fielder coming around from long on who does a very good job. I believe that's Darwin. In comes Culler. Straight a ball just pushed away. They're going to scamper through for one. Fielders are a little asleep there. Well, you should have done better to prevent the single. Hippos do not have any type of total that they can take things easy. Culler beating the bat of Bilal just outside of off. Culler in again from the Stockholm end. It's wide-ish. Cut through the gap, racing towards the boundary, and it's going to reach it. That will be four. First four from the bat for the strikers. And it is Bilal who picks that up. Owen in again to Bilal. Picks this one just outside of off stump to the long on fielder. Darwin down there. Dave, the mid wicket, has pushed back already. Square leg is a couple of metres behind the umpire. Oh! Just falling short of Tim Heath. That could have been a big breakthrough for the Hippos. So 15 for one after 2 overs. Owen to continue from the Kiev end. Got that important first wicket for his side. Slaps this one. That's where the fielder Remo is in the deep. So racing back for 2. That's very good running from the Masood brothers. Remo not with the strongest arm. And they've gotten that second purely on the throw. He had the ball in his hands before they even considered the second. Owen in once more. It's chipped, it's in the air. Fielder's going back. Oh, he got underneath it, but he couldn't hold on to it. Darwin at gully there. He judged it well, but his hands were just too hard. So that's also looks like he might be a bit injured. He's just gone over to Tim Heath and said, my hand's broken. I don't know if it's broken, but like there's something wrong with it. He's holding it out. The umpire's having a look. Someone else is having a look. Everyone else is coming in to everyone wants to have a look. He's going to go off to get some treatment. So looks like it could be quite serious. He's jogging off, but certainly suggests that he might have split the webbing. Done something. The Hippos first aid kit has been brought out, showing the value of teams having their own first aid kit here so that they can treat their players immediately. The way that Darwin was running off, so it suggests that it's something that if he gets it bandaged or taped up, cleaned up, he'll be able to just return straight back on field because he just jogged off. I don't think it was... It's serious enough to require some treatment, but it suggests not serious enough that he might not be able to continue. Looks like the Rugby Union has finished for the day. Everyone leaving. Tents are all being packed up. And that's another single to the Strikers. So Owen into Bilal. Strays down the leg side. Bilal flicks this away. It's going to be 4 runs. Very well timed. Effortless shot. Just guiding it on its way. And it's a good thing that the rugby is over because it's made its way all the way over to the rugby field. It was just inside the field, just in front of the try line. It's been very interesting to have a rugby player racing for the corner to try to dive in for a try and suddenly sees a cricket ball appear in front of them. So here comes Owen once more from the Kiev end. Blau just fends this one away for 1. Strikers not struggling at all to score here. Keeping it ticking over at a really regular rate. They're scoring well above the required rate. And unless the Hippos can start picking up wickets, they should chase this down comfortably. In the air, but Fielder is too deep. And 10 runs coming from that Owen over. Moves the score along to 25 for 1 after 3. in the air, straight back over the bowler. That is only one of two things, a 4 or a 6, and it's going to be 4 runs. Landed just inside the rope. Very well hit there from Ali. So can Colour come back here? Cut away just outside of the outreaching arm from Richard Parkin, and that will be 4 more. It was a good ball, but it was an even better shot from Ali Masood. And if Richard Parkin at full stretch can't get a hand to it, no one on the field is going to have any chance of getting a hand to it. So Colour. Bit straighter this time. And just a dot ball. Colour in again. And that's a lovely shot. 6 runs. Lofted cover drive from Ali Masood there. Just perfect timing. Just leant into the shot and dispatched it over the boundary for 6. He's continuing that excellent form he has been in for the Strikers so far this season. Looks like a slow one from Colour there. Ali just blocks it out. He doesn't need to take any risks when he's already hit 14 runs this over. Cuts this one away, backward of point, it's racing to the boundary, and that will be 4 more. This expensive over for the Hippos gets even more expensive. 18 runs from it, 3 4s and a 6. Ali Masood on fire. And you would expect that if he is able to stay out there for a few more overs, it's all going to be over very, very quickly. The Hippos need to remove him. But if they look over towards where the Strikers' batters are all sitting, they will see that it's Habib Khan who will be coming in next. He's all padded up. He's got his gloves on. He's got his bat in his hand. And he is desperate to get out there and smash some boundaries. Hippos bowlers have shown that they've got the ability to take wickets, but a couple of hard catches going to ground when you're playing against a team of the calibre of this striker side, you've got to take those hard ones. So bowling change from the Kiev end, Richard Parkin coming on. There's left arm round the wicket, which has been very, very effective. Bilal slaps it straight back to him, goes through Richard's legs and across the boundary. just a couple of metres to the right of the commentary hut. Dave Robson, wearing 2 hats, has to jog past me. I'm not sure the fashion police would approve of the double hat. Richard Parkin has been called up to the national side. He'll be on the plane to Stockholm in June, along with both Bilal and Ali Masood. It's wide outside of off. And called wide. Thanks to Sanoj watching from India. Hope you're enjoying cricket Estonian style. Where the sun's out but the wind is cold. So Richard Parkin into Bilal. Outside off, it's in the air. Dave Robson's underneath. Oh my God, he's dropped it. An absolute sitter, and he's absolutely furious with himself. Throws the ball into the ground. You really couldn't get an easier catch at mid-off. How he's put that down, I do not know. An absolute dolly. Wide outside of off again from Richard, and it must have pitched off the pitch as the umpire has called it a no ball. So it will be a free hit. And I'll expect Bilal to be attacking this with everything he's got. He does. He smashes it straight. It's heading just wide of the commentary hut. Yep, it lands over the boundary for 6. Again, just a few metres to my right. And Bilal absolutely making the most of the free hit. And the Hippos are really ruining that dropped catch. So, does Richard have any reply? Short, pulled, races to the boundary. 1 bounce for the umpire's asking. The umpire's signalling 6. Looked 4 to me, but it's a long way off to my right. So I'll take the word of those who are much closer to it. Both the Hippos fielder and the strikers batters agreed that it was a 6. Square leg umpire just checking with his colleague. You signalled that a 6? Yes, I did. So there should be 1 ball remaining in the over. It has been an extremely expensive one. $20 runs coming from it, and this was one of the Hippos' strike bowlers, and he's gone for 20 runs off 5 legal deliveries so far. Pulled away. There is the fielder there. It should just be 1. And it is. So 21 runs coming from that Richard Parkin over. The Masood brothers partnership is up to 58. The strikers are 64 for 1 after 5 overs. Hippos weren't even that after 10. Strikers only needing 5 runs per over now to chase this down. You would have to think the only question is how many overs will it require them to do this, as opposed to will they be able to do this. Colour is going to continue. Fuller ball. Just pushed away for a single. You would think this is an opportunity for both Ali and Bilal to pick up half centuries. Drives this one to the long on fielder. They settle for just the 1 run. Those drop chances from the Hippos proving expensive. Colour again, slapped away to cow corner. It's 6 runs. Bilal looks like he wants to make sure he gets to 50 before his brother. Hello to Sweat Ranjan from India. Eesti Pog. Yep. Catches win your matches. And the strikers add 1 more to their total. So Colour once more from the Stockholm end. Comes into Ali. Full slower ball. Pushed away. Colour desperately trying to cut it off to prevent the run, but he can't. And they add another to the strikers' score. Glad you're enjoying the match, Svet Ranjan. Colour coming in again. Straight, smashed. And the fielder signals that it is 6. It looked like a 6 the moment it left the bat. Absolutely flew off. And yet again, another very expensive over. 16 runs coming from it. The strikers are now 80 for 1 after 6. That is what you call a power play, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking before in the first innings about how we'd seen some very small scores, and the power play so far today, none of the other 3 teams who are in action able to take advantage of the power play. The next best was 61 from United. Both the Hippos and Riders only managing scores in the 50s from the power play. So 59 from 84. Richard Parkin is going to continue from the Kiev end. Fuller ball. Ali finds the gap. And Owen comes in off the boundary to do the fielding. NM Creation enjoying the Masood brothers destroying the Hippos. Now, we hope to see the Masood brothers batting like this for the Estonian national team in a few weeks in Stockholm against Germany and Sweden. Richard strays down the leg side. Bilal was trying to smash that one backward of square, but he couldn't get hold of it. So just the wide. He does get hold of this one. That's going to be another 6. I think he's hit the container on the full. I'm absolutely certain he's hit the container on the full. And the ball's come off the container and landed in someone's bag. Umpires will have to have a good look at that ball after it's smashed into the container, because Bilal has brought up his 50 in an emphatic fashion. Absolutely hammered that ball, and it means that Richard is now going to come around the wicket. Sorry, over the wicket. He's been bowling around the wicket as they scamper through for 1. Bilal's on 51 from 19, 3 4s, 5 6s. It's been an excellent innings so far. Full outside of off. And Richard picks up a much needed dot ball for his side. Richard in again to Ali. He's caught behind. The Hippos break up the Masood brother partnership. Ali has gone for 28 off 19 deliveries. Well caught by Rudesh behind the stumps. Much needed wicket for the Hippos, but you do still feel it's too little too late. They needed to break this pair up a couple of overs ago. And that might put a halt to the ability for the strikers to get it in 10 runs, as was just predicted by Svevic. So 7 overs completed, 89 for 2. Habib, the new batter, joining Bilal. And the new bowler from the Stockholm end will be Max Sedgwick. He'll be bowling to Bilal. Pulls this one away. Tim Heath unable to stop it at mid-wicket. But they'll just pick up the 1 run. 49 just required. In the air, there is a fielder underneath it. but he's completely lost it. It's gone over his head. It's another missed opportunity for the Hippos. They could have had Habib out for a duck. Normally you would say anytime you got Habib and Arslan out for ducks in the one match, you'd have to be winning. Oh, this one he's hit straight to the fielder at point. But it's Ramo there and he's not able to hold on to it. So 2 chances going begging in a row. Mac into Bilal. He flicks this one off his legs for another boundary. Beautifully played there by Bilal. Again, just timing the ball, not trying to overhit it, not trying to smash it, just guiding it into the gap and letting it run away and give him the runs. This time it's outside off, cut away, beats the point fielder, and that will be 4 more. Bilal making this look very, very easy. It stopped just inside the rope. No more than an inch. So they had 2 more. 14 coming from that Mac over. And it could have been very, very different had either of the catching chances been held. But it's been one of those days for the Hippos. They have not been able to hold on their catches. After for the most part, disappointing effort with the bat. A few players, particularly late in the innings, aside. This could, if they'd had just held on to half the chances, this could have been a very different situation. Driven very straight by Habib. Owen coming around from long on to do the fielding and get back for 2. And this one's gone out of the ground. Habib picked that up and just absolutely smashed it. It's almost hit the log on the full. Those of you not familiar with the ground, in that part of the field, those logs are at least 13, 14 meters from the rope. That was a very big 6. Richard with an appeal. Yeah, Simon, I definitely think Hippos could have been in with a chance here if they'd held on to the catches. Habib goes big again. It's not going to be as big as the previous one, but it still clears the rope by 10 meters. One bounce over the logs. Just being stopped on the road. Habib is absolutely destroying Richard Parkin here. So was Bilal. So Richard decided to come around the wicket. And Habib smashes this one straight towards me. It's going to land a few metres inside the boundary. Owen comes around to do the fielding. It was hit into the wind as opposed to the two that he'd previously hit towards Cal, so that's the reason why he didn't get value for it. This one's outside off, and it'll be a dot ball to finish the over. 14 runs coming from it. And you don't normally see Richard Parkin with figures of 3 overs, 1 for 46. That's incredibly expensive. Matt continuing from the Stockholm end. Bilal just getting a single. Just 19 runs more required. Looped up. Habib just pushes this one back past the bowler. He wants to. But the fielder was too quick. Out in the deep there. I think that's colour. So only getting the 1 run. Back into Bilal. He slog sweeps this. It's in the air. There's a fielder there. He's dropped it. He had it. I was about to say he's taken it because he had it. He absolutely had it, but he couldn't hold on to it. So there's another dropped catch for the Hippos. They can't. Luck's just not going their way. This time Habib with a cover drive into the gap for 4. Oops. Travis Bestwick saying, have a bowl, Robbo. Yeah, I think a lot of people are surprised that Dave has not bowled. Particularly as to how expensive Carla, Richard and Mac have been, and they've continued to get overs. It's outside and it's called a wide. Drives this one through the covers, and that will be 4 more. Dave Robson, the stand-in skipper for the Hippos, is at short cover, and Habib has hit 4s either side of him in this over, with just the wide delivery separating the 2 boundaries. Only 8 runs required now. So not quite going to do it in 10 overs. 132 for 2 after the 10. I probably should bring on a drink for Bilal, but with only 7 runs needed, probably not necessary to actually have a full drinks break. So Dave is still not going to bowl. He's instead thrown the ball to Vikram. With only 7 runs required, Bilal, in the form he's been in today, this could be over in just 2 deliveries. Full smashed straight to... It was heading straight towards me, but Owen, who is just fielding off to the right of the commentary position, was able to come over and collect it on one bounce. A little straighter and Bilal would have been able to get a boundary. Bowler's about to bowl while the umpire is talking on the walkie-talkie. So smashed in a similar area. It is slightly straighter, but Owen's still able to get around, and they will just get the one more. Brings Habib back on strike. So 5 runs required by the strikers for victory. Vikram coming in again. And Habib has smashed that, but it's mostly air. Richard Parkin doing the fielding, as there is a long on, a cow corner, and a deep mid-wicket. So it's much harder for them to get boundaries in that area. Bilal finds the easy way to get a boundary in that area. It's absolutely massive. It's gone over the road on the full. It has landed 5 to 6 meters over the road. Absolutely huge. What a way to bring up the win for the strikers. Massive 6. Bilal finishes 71 not out. Habib with 31 not out. The Hippos might be left wondering of what could it have been if they had have held on to some of those catches, as the strikers run out victors by 8 wickets, and you'd say deservedly so. Some good bowling that was very tight, very economical, made it very difficult for the Hippos, particularly the top order, to score, and they were without a few of their main batters as well. But a few of the batters down the end, like Darwin, managed to put it so they had something to try to bowl to, but it was too little. And with the bat, although they removed Arslan with the first ball, Bilal and Ali initially, and then Bilal and Habib were at their aggressive best to score runs at all parts of the field. So, congratulations to the strikers. They moved to 8 points, double the next team. Commiserations to the Hippos. We shall be back with more action tomorrow. We've got Stallions versus Rising Stars at 11 a.m. The Stallions will be eager to pick up a victory there and close the gap on the strikers. And that's the only match we'll be streaming tomorrow. It's the only match in Division 1, the only match from Field 1. So I hope you tune in and enjoy that. That's goodbye from the National Cricket and Rugby field in Tiskre. Enjoy the rest of your day.